So now that I have the Toyota frame done, this is a 1981 Toyota. I'm out here in the shop and I'm going to start on sheet metal. I've got some rust, and I'll flip the camera around so you can see, but kind of explain what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do with this video series is just start with the cab, do rust replacement. The goal is to get the underneath of the floor pan painted, and then also the same thing on the bed of the truck, and so I can get them mounted back up on the frame. So in these videos I hope to just start with one and start numbering them so that you can kind of follow. So I'm going to flip this around and kind of show you my project. So there's the frame that's done. There's the bed of the truck. And I'm going to just do the underneath of that, prime and paint, so I can get it mounted back on the frame. Then I got the cab in here, and kind of what I got going on, there's a few little rust. There's a rust spot here that I've got to deal with. And then on both sides of the floor pan, and the lighting's terrible, but I've got most of the rust cut out. And I've got one here on the passenger side, and I've got that one over there on the driver's side. And I was able to get some floor pans, but my pickup's an 81, and I'm not finding any floor pans out of an 81. This is out of, I believe it was an 88. One of those Toyota RV campers, actually. And it is different, but I think it's close enough. So these are what's going to go in there. I'm not going to video the whole thing. I'm just going to kind of show kind of steps as I go. I know to start with, that bracket, actually this whole bracket that the mud flap sits on, I've got to take all this out. So I got to drill out all those tack welds. Because the new donor piece, it has that, and I'm going to use that one instead of this one. So, and I'll kind of try to show you at different steps. Another issue I've run into, the last bit of rust that I've found is here where the battery sits, and I've not been able to find a replacement on that. So this I'm probably just going to kind of wing it and make my own. I'm going to have to make, first take the battery tray out and patch the sheet metal that's underneath the battery tray, and then kind of make a battery tray. And that's going to be phase one, obviously, is the rust. And I'm contemplating, I kind of want to take all this hoses and everything out of here so I can paint this engine bay. I kind of dread doing it, but I probably will be glad that I did. So here again is a donor, and I've got the measurements, so I know where the bolt sits. And I'm not going to butt weld these in. I'm going to cut the donor to where it's maybe a quarter-inch bigger on all sides, and set it in there, and then tack weld it, then weld it solid, and then underneath and on top I'll just hit kind of where my welds are with seam sealer. And you can see that's the old where the body bolt went. It's pretty rusted. So I've cut it out. I might reshape it. Again, this bracket here is gonna come out. So that's it for now, and I'll update you throughout the project, but I'm not going to sit and just film it. Alright guys, quick update. Back at it today, a little more energy today, and just going to show you a quick update of where I'm at, and then I'll show you the end product. So this is what I've whittled the parts down to. I've got them both roughed out. I've got to burn some more stuff off. I worked on it a little bit. The pile that I'm left with, that's from one side, that's from the other. Quite a bit of cutting. So kind of how I'm doing this is I left the lip on. Once I clean this out, this will go up there. That'll look just like factory. But what I'm trying to contemplate is, right now I've got it overlapped, probably about 1/4 of an inch. But you can see that the 81 floor pan is different than the 88. So I might just pound these out with a hammer. I don't know yet. I'll get across that bridge when I get there. What I was going to show you is, prior to welding these in, you can see my old, where I drilled out the tack weld. So I'm going to fill all these in with weld. Get all these welded in. Then I'll sand it and get it primed prior to putting the plate on. And then on the other side, ran into a little problem. This sheet metal here was completely rusted out. So I just kind of cut out an area, and I'm going to come in with a wire wheel, clean all this up, prime it the best that I can, and then I'm going to weld in a patch. Get all that ground, primed, and then I can put the body mount brace back on. So that's just a quick update to show you when I'm get a little bit further. All right, guys, I got both of the floor pans in. Then I ran out of wire, so this is kind of where I'm going to leave the project for now. And I'll go ahead and post this video, and because it'll be a while before I kind of work on it again. So I'll show you what I got. So that is the passenger side. It's just tack welded in. I got a lot of cleaning up to do, and then I'm going to either tack it more or possibly weld it in solid. But it's actually pretty solid right now. And then I'll go around and show you the other one. And my light bulb burned out. Great. So that's what the original looked like. That's how bad this floor was rusted. And there's the driver's side one in. And same thing, just tack welded. So just got to clean it up and get it welded. So these ridges on the 88 were different than the 81, obviously. So I kind of just had to, on some of them, pound them down and go ahead and tack weld them. But quite pleased. I'll get them welded, seam sealed, and I think this whole inside of on the floor, I got to strip the whole thing and repaint it. So quite a bit of work left in here. And being that I don't have a light, I'll just call it good on this video. I got to take a moment to clean my shop before it drives me crazy.